Well, hello everyone. My name is Linford with Mountain Valley Auctions, and I'm here today with Mr. Dave Peoples. We're going to be selling his tool collection, and I just thought maybe you all would be interested in hearing from him about this collection and kinds of interesting things that come along with collecting. So, Dave, you want to just tell us a little bit about how you got started collecting tools?
Well, that is sort of a hard question, Linford, because you don't know exactly how it started. Two things happened. I bought a house as is, and the old boy that owned it was a handyman around town, as well as working for two woolen mills as a maintenance man. So there were a number of tools in that barn, but I didn't appreciate them until much later because I was remodeling the house all the time. But then a number of years later, my mom called me and said, the barn is falling apart. We need to do something. So she said, you can have anything you want in the barn. So I opened a toolbox, and there it was full of my grandfather's and great-grandfather's tools. And I said, wow, this is special. I think from that moment on, I got the collecting bug. It was
That's what it takes sometimes. Just a
absolutely,
little bit of a discovery.
Absolutely,
Yep.
and it certainly was. And then I appreciated more what I had gotten from that first house.
All right, so Dave, we have a lot of different tools in this auction. I think you said you had about 2,000 at one point.
That's correct.
We have 1,100 lots and all kinds of different things. So tell us kind of some of your favorite types of tools. What do you like?
That's kind of like asking a mama which her favorite child is, Linford. But it sort of evolved into wrenches over a period of time. And this is one of my favorites, a Windsor Manufacturing monkey wrench, made back in, I think, 1904. And favorite of mine because I grew up just 10 miles from where that was made.
Yeah.
And that building is now the Precision Tool Museum, where precision interchangeable parts were invented.
There you go. And so that was in Vermont?
That was in Windsor, Vermont.
Yep. And your dad and your granddad.
My dad worked in that town for 28 years.
Yes.
At
And
a different manufacturing plant.
And so some of the tools in this collection, actually, you mentioned already before, have been passed down to you from your father and your grandfather on both sides of your family.
Absolutely. But
And
some of those, of course, we won't sell. They go
that's
to
right.
my grandchildren.
Yeah. But that's kind of the long lineage of tools and how you came to be associated with tools, and
Yes.
that's all part of the story.
Yes,
Tell us
indeed.
about this flashlight here.
This flashlight, fortunately, was given to me for being a nice handyman around town. This old lady said, Dave, you need this. And it is a very special Winchester flashlight. Very rare.
Yeah.
It's not in the Winchester Flashlight Museum. And it has three functions, off, on, and blink.
Yeah.
So,
And it still works.
and it still works. Yes, indeed. Very nice.
The Winchester Bronze Light flashlight.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yes.
And then here, the first time I was here, I saw this and kind of got intrigued by this. And maybe we'll see if we can show the camera this. You want to tell us what do you use one of these things for?
This is a Pearson nailer from patented, I think, 1896, and it had a special nail that you put in here. It was kind of a bronze-colored nail that went down through these channels to nail a wooden shingle. You just hit that with a wooden mallet, and it didn't set it completely because it would split. So someone else came behind and sunk it. But they must have been thinking they're in seventh heaven with that tool.
Yep. So you have an interest in a lot of different kinds of tools, obviously, and there's thousands of stories that you could tell. What have you enjoyed most about collecting? What's been kind of the satisfactory factor in collecting of all these tools?
Well, I think one of the biggest is sharing what you have. I have enjoyed sharing and teaching about the stuff in this museum as much as owning it.
Yep.
I have loved that. And one of the biggest enjoyments of this collection is meeting all fellow like-minded collectors. I have met some wonderful, wonderful friends out there.
I'm sure
because
you have.
of it.
Yep. So Dave, tell us, how long have you actively been collecting these tools? I mean, this is quite an impressive collection, and these things don't just happen overnight. How long have you been working at this project?
Well, I think the early 80s was when I really got started. It's hard to pinpoint it, but that was about the time, yes.
So about 40 years ago.
Yep.
And you've moved the collection at least once, maybe twice.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I have.
Yep.
I've lived in a couple of different houses since I started, yes. Yep.
And where all did you go to find all these tools?
Early on, I found an awful lot at farm auctions. They were a great source of finding good stuff. But then antique malls, tool meetings is a fantastic source of collecting tools. Antique malls and antique stores, of course, but
and then you got some of them given to you. We already talked about the one, but
I did have some stuff given to me for one reason or another.
Once somebody finds out that you're into tools,
yes, they did.
They give you some.
Sometimes it's junk, but occasionally I got lucky, like this one.
And sometimes, sometimes you would go buy a tool and you didn't even know what it was, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what you were impressed by the tool, and as a matter of fact, the pump log shaper, no one at the auction knew, and I had to beat a seller of antique tools out of that, and then I had to research it. Yep. And I finally found out what it was, and I'm proud of it.
Well, one of the best things about this collection, from my perspective, is that you had done a lot of the research and had all the information that you could acquire about the tools, and so it made my job a lot easier, and hopefully our buyers can appreciate that.
Yes, I think.
So if you're interested in this tool collection, if you're interested in checking out Mr. Dave's collection, he called it the Forefathers Tool Museum, and we're selling most of it. He's going to keep some for his family, obviously, but go to our website. It's mountainvalleyauctions.com, and you'll find it there. The auction is going to start to close on August the 29th, and then we do offer shipping if you live at a distance, or you can come here and pick it up in person. We do have preview opportunities as well if you want to come see this collection before you bid on items. So you're welcome to contact us about that. And we hope that Mr. Dave's collection here will be a joy for not just him, as it already has been, but for other people to enjoy and start their collection or add to their collection and pass down this love of tools and all kinds of things mechanical. So we thank you for watching and hope you enjoy this tool auction.